Alright, so first look of the day. We played some Dimir Murktide Shadow yesterday. Just straight up AspiringSpike's list to try it out. Let's make a copy of this now that I think about it. Properties, Dimir Murktide. I guess this is Grix's Murktide Shadow. So yeah, we played it yesterday. Just took like AspiringSpike's list card for card, ran it through a league, ran a 4-1 with it. Did pretty well. So we're running it back today, but we made a few little changes here. I was not impressed with this card, Tainted Influence. Let's pop that out. I was not impressed with Tainted Influence, so I'm going to be replacing it with a couple copies of Night's Whisper and a couple copies of Temur Battle Rage. We're adding in the Red Splash just for Battle Rage in the main, 2 copies, with 1 Steam Vents. So we're going to see kind of how that plays out. That's the only change in the main we made. The 4 Tainteds for 2 Night's Whisper, 2 Temur Battle Rage. In the sideboard, we took out the 2 Kaido for 2 copies of Spreading Seas. Kaido wasn't relevant in like any of our matchups, and the likelihood of it being like a good grind card when we just like don't have that many creatures was pretty low. And we replaced the 4 copies of Dauthi Voidwalker, since we cut back on the black sources, with 2 Soul Guide Lanterns and 2 unlicensed hearses in the sideboard. Another new Capenna card that's been popping up a lot. Essentially exile a bunch of stuff, eventually get down dude, crew it, attack in, or it's just like big time grave hate. So we'll see how it plays out. Haven't cast the card yet, so no idea what to expect, but let's just jump into it. Yeah, I did add them. Dogfish, what's up? I said I was going to play Unlicensed Hearses. We playing Unlicensed Hearses. Alright, what we got round 1? Ooh, hopefully something that folds to counter spells. I don't really know what that would be right now. So, we'll find out in like 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Maybe more than 4 seconds. Oh, opponent, come back. So the Temur Battle Rages should be like a relatively free splash. Give us a lot of help in matchups, so we're able to just like get down a Shadow, counter a removal spell, untap and Battle Rage. Kind of like the old Shadow lists, but we get to play a little bit more 2022 style with the Murktides instead of Gurmags, with Counterspell, Archmage's Charm. So it's kind of the same idea that we took to like Jund Shadow. Like, we're taking the base idea of Shadow, Street Wraith, Battle Rage, Thoughtseize, and going bigger with it. If this opponent wants to play us. Are we just not going to get a match pair? Thrilling content, I know. Give us an... Alright, we got somebody. Sweet. Would love to play first. Drown, Dress Down, Shadow, Murktide. Hand's not thrilling, but like I've got turn 2 Dress Down. Might be able to draw me into something relevant. I can like go turn 2 Dress Down on their end step, untap, play a 13/13 Shadow through my turn, and have Drown in the lock. Like, this hand would be a lot better if something like Dress Down were a Thoughtseize instead, but here we are.
Alright, so putting cards in their own graveyard is fantastic for us. I really want to build Vivian combo, even though I don't think it's that good. I don't want to make Yogg mad. So like the Vivian pod combo deck. Deck looks kind of sweet. Alright, so they went top. I'm guessing Seachrome Coast Serum Visions might mean like Ad Nauseum. They didn't suspend a Lotus Bloom. Alright, I feel like Inquisition's going to be pretty decent here. Is in fact Ad Nauseum. So, what would they put on top with this hand? Do I want to just take Angel's Grace? Probably. This is blue-black, right? Yep. Yeah, I think I'm just going to take Angel's Grace. Alright, so I can get down Shadow next turn. They will likely be Serum or Sleight of Handing this turn. So good chance of this Drowning Lock being live starting next turn. It's kind of weird that they Serum Vision Scryed both to the top and then they're Sleight of Handing here. Because you're assuming you want the card that's on the very top. So, if they want that, if the next card's dead, they're just kind of like shuffling it away for nothing. Alright, so get down Shadow. Probably gonna cycle Street Wraith here. It's not really a ton that I would draw there, but didn't look earlier, but none of the new Triumph in this list. It reminds me that I need to update the deck list on the Stream Decker. No, none of the new Triumph. I thought about it pretty briefly, and it's kind of like if you are running the Murktide half of the deck, you really want the Triumph, but if you're running the Shadow half of the deck, you don't. So I'd rather like opt for not running it and be fine with not having it on the Murktide side. Alright. So deck list should be updated. The Exile Profane Tutor, sure. TBR is something I can get behind. Same. Having lower land count usually in play makes sense. You don't want to cycle it often. It's a combination of that and just land one time. Alright, I can deal with Thoughtseize. It's a combination of not really being able to cycle it as well as am I just taking the Pact of Negation? Yeah. God, I lost my train of thought. Not being able to cycle it as well as not being able to lose life off of it to grow your Shadow. So, like, if you have the Murktide side where you don't care about the life, then just being able to fix your mana on that turn is fantastic. But if you don't have the Murktide half of the deck, then you're kind of in trouble.
Phyrexian Unlife. Maybe not. So. Counter that. They could spoils looking for like a pact right there, I guess, but at the end of the day, that's fine. Yeah, it's like more for the life part, honestly. Alright, so Chalice of the Void's really good. Can exile Lotus Bloom off suspend or Profane Tutor off suspend. Not really. Stub's great. Mystical Dispute is an option, just as like mana leak in most cases. Can also be like 1 mana fight over a Pact of Negation. Or, yeah, Pact of Negation. That one. Why was I thinking Force of Negation? Dismember's dead. Fatal Pushes are dead. I think we're just gonna do like this. Might want to bring in like 1 EE just in case a Phyrexian Unlife resolves. Might not be the worst idea in the world. We'll do that. Board out. Rest down. Wonder if Spreading Seas is like worth it over the other dress down. Why not? We're experimenting here. We're here to have a good time. Drown, Stub, Night's Whisper, Shadow. Yeah, we'll keep it. Yep. That's part of the reason for not mulliganing there, is like, if I'm mulligan looking for hand disruption and they just have Leyline, like I'm just doing their job for them. Of course we draw it off the top. Ugh. Alive and well. I mean, yeah. Weren't we just online like yesterday? Just suspend the tutor. Yep. Alright, I'm just gonna Night's Whisper here. That's a lot of drown in the locks. Let's ditch one of them. Tutor's coming off suspend next turn. I can drown to fight over a tutor. Unlife here, sure. Like, at this point, the plan is absolutely, like, counter everything they try to cast. So, Unlife doesn't really matter if I'm just, like, fighting over everything they put on the stack. Like, hey, let's drown and lock this, because it doesn't have a CMC. We're gonna have to find a clock relatively quickly, but at least at the moment we don't appear to be dead, so that's a plus. Would love to have found a land there, because now we get into the situation where, like, if I want to go for an end of turn Archmage's Charm, they could just like hard cast a what's it called? Ad Nauseum. So I really want to get this now while they are tapped off of Ad Naus. Do I just want to sit on double drown? I'm gonna have to discard the hand size, so I might as well just like play this out. And I think I'm gonna just sit on double drown here. But I guess it's a little bit awkward if they've got Ad Nauseum. No, if they've got Ad Nauseum, I've got Archmage's Charm, and then like Stub for a follow-up. Second on life is fine. I'm not fighting over that. And we're gonna draw some more cards. Okay. Land. One more land so I can like Murktide, hold up, Stub, drown in the lock. Looking great. I think I'm just gonna play Murktide. This way, like if I get Murktide down now, then I don't feel like I have to tap out anymore. Like, I could just die here, but if I don't, I feel pretty okay. And then from here on out, I'm pretty sure I'm just like never tapping out again. Like, they're going to be dead in 2 turns. I've got 4 counter spells in hand. Hard cast Leyline. You've got it.
Look, you and me on the Charles River. I could die right now, Glenn. I'm just happy I
doesn't do too much here. Alright, I am going to play out a shadow here. I want to discard the hand size. Oh. What do we got? Like a sleight of hand effect. Thassa's Oracle. I will go to fight over a Thassa's Oracle. Like, I've got this plethora of counter spells, so my assumption here is, like, let me just use some of them. And then the Seagate there lets us hold up triple counter spell. Can't do anything about that. Yeah, I don't want to spreading seas here. I'm just like chilling with my counters. So many counter spells. Okay. Like, I feel like I shouldn't show my hand. I think that would just be like BM. But I said before we started, I really wanted to see a matchup where just like having all the counter spells in the world was GG's, and Ad Nauseum is probably that. Or Ad Nauseum plus, or having counters plus a clock against Ad Nauseum. Even if your clock comes down on like turn 7. I'm gonna have to add a new column to the spreadsheet, because I feel like I can't really call this Grixis Shadow. It's like Grixis with a little asterisk there, like happens to have red card. Where are all the opponents today? Like, there's 1,053 people currently registered in the league, and like we can't find a match to save our life. Alright, there we go. All you gotta do is talk trash to Moto. Guess this is fine. Affinity? Is that what Tangleroot Bridge indicates? So if they go turn 2, Spell Bomb, Spring Leaf, they can't play a Frogmite. So I think I want to take one of these 1-drop artifacts. My thought process here is that I can like counterspell a Frogmite next turn, and then like Archmage's Charm the Sojourner's Companion after that, then maybe I can slow my opponent down enough for me to like find a relevant threat. Good one. We do have the dress down though. Relevant threat is found. So let's pass with counter spell. So we can go untap, play Shadow, hold up, dress down. They make a construct, untap. And if they go to make a second construct here, we will absolutely dress down both of their constructs away. So they make a dude. I dress down now. They get some artifact. They've got Frogmite, Sojourner's Companion. They get a 1-mana artifact here. They can cast Frogmite, and the other Frogmite. Could they 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? No, they couldn't play the Companion. I can thought seize the companion. Swing in with shadow. Play my other shadow. Hold up stub. Yeah, 'cause that's just like bigger than Murktide right now. So, Tangle Pool Bridge was their draw for turn. Land would be a really good draw here. My thought seizing to present lethal. 5, and I can counterspell whatever they do. So if I thought seize, yeah, they have to block. I'm not dead to anything. I'm counterspelling. Swinging with shadows. Oh yeah. We're counterspelling whatever you put on the stack. Counterspelling. Get out of here. And we learned very recently that if we Archmage's Charm and try to steal the Shadow Spear, we do not actually get the Shadow Spear on our side of the board. Unfortunately, it stays on a Frogmite. But here we'll attack. They can go to blocks and we'll just dress down, and the Frogmite's going to lose lifelink here. The Shadow goes to a 13-13. You know. Fun, normal Magic stuff. Alright, so definitely want the other dress downs. Everything else is... yeah. Like, EE could be okay. It's an extra answer to construct tokens. EE on 1 could swipe away, like, Spell Bomb, Shadow Spear, Aether Spell Bomb. I said Spell Bomb. Aether Spell Bomb, Shadow Spear, Springleaf Drum. Some junk like that. Go on the board out. A couple Street Wraiths. It is like a little bit more of an aggressive matchup. EU for Edge Champion. Oh, Edge Champion's a good call. But I do have 4 dress downs. So, like, even if they have Edge Champion, I'm not, like, dead in the water to something. Board out of stub. I'm sure I'm explaining something you understand. But when you steal the equipment, you control it, so you just have to pay the extra to re-equip it. Yeah, no, that part I get completely. But if we pay, we only have like 4 mana at the time, 3 mana. So if we Archmage's Charm to gain control of the Shadow Spear, it stays equipped to the Frogmite. So they'd still be able to like block, gain the life, have the Frogmite be bigger. And we would just have to re-equip it like the next turn. So that's all I was saying, is that like we could steal... take control of the Shadow Spear to be able to re-equip it, but we couldn't do anything with it right there. Like, we couldn't re-equip it right away. We couldn't... Champion plus hat plus spear is probably GG's, though. Probably. But we'll see. Like, what if I get to drown in the lock a Edge Champion, or dress down a champion and then drown in it? I just wanted you to double suicide your shadows. I mean, at least you're honest about it. Like, some people would say, oh, it was a good play. You should have done it. Nah, I wanted you to die. Alright, we're just taking thought monitor. Yeah. Like if they find a land and they can nettle cyst here, it's a little annoying, but they don't just find a land, they find the land. Oh man. That went from bad to yikes real quick. So does the germ token just die because it loses this ability? Like, should I just be focusing on killing something else here? Let's check the internet. So I would ask a judge call about this. Dress down and nettle cyst. Think it dies. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if it doesn't die. I just want to know before I cast anything. That's a pretty relevant thing right here. That makes sense. Being a static effect, it's not like equipped creature gains life length or something to that effect. So I think I just want to drown this. Save my like more relevant pump for spells for later, like my fatal push. All right, so they make a construct, and the hope is that they go to their turn and make another construct. Learned from their past mistakes. Welding jar. Okay. Sugar Brute is fine. Just re-equip 2. Just slap it on. I guess I probably should have waited until after. Alright, let's see. So if I Archmage's Charm, steal the Memnite. I don't want to do it on my turn because they can just pay and re-equip on theirs. But like during combat. Oh man. Power and toughness modifiers aren't affected by dress down because layers, but keywords are. Okay. I'd buy that. I love how, like, this Midnight gets pumped because it counts the artifacts that they control. Like, that's pretty hilarious. So let's try to kill this. Pass the turn. I'm assuming they're gonna try to like re-equip the nettle cyst on one of their guys. But if they just go to like cast something. Yeah. But I can make the Ornithopter lose flying with the dress down, so I can block it. Okay. Shadow off the top. So I can do the exact same thing of like steal Ornithopter here. Yep. My Ornithopter. Counter spell. Just tap it down for mana. Sure. That's fair. Alright. Do I want mystical disputes here for like thought monitors and thought casts? Maybe like, yeah, I guess it's probably better than stub. Chalice on the play stops Midnight, Ornithopter. Is that worth it? We'll just run with this. See what happens. Great hand anyway. We'll keep this. Bottom the Battle Rage. I'm getting Watery Grave off of this. So I'm like a ways off of Battle Rage. That's a lot of thought cast effects. Oh boy. Alright, so I can get Shadow into play next turn. Cast is a messed up magic card. Am I supposed to get Shadow into play, or am I supposed to just like... Yeah. You know they have another thought cast, so like they can just sit here and refill their hand like crazy. Yep. Let's go ahead and kill one of these. job. Like, I know he's going to be able to cast all of his thought casts and thought monitors and everything else. Here's thought monitor. Yep. Alright. I want to draw 2. Probably. I guess what I should have done is like take a welding jar, fatal push the first Ornithopter in response to the second. Look for some out from there. Like, just try to slow him down a turn and draw into like running counter spells for thought monitor effects or something. Yep. Ooh. Needed one of those to be a land in there somewhere. I love how they made like 2 constructs the very first time and got hit with dress down, and they're just like never again. Like, I will absolutely not be making constructs a second time. Very simple, excessive. Now I can just bounce my Murktide at any point. Yep. Alright, that's the nuts out of Affinity. I know it's a small sample size so far. What's the land count? I think it's 17. It's like 16 actual lands, and then the Seagate restoration, which has felt kind of light. I think I want to go up to 17 lands and then the Seagate if I'm going to run the Seagate. Because I feel like this deck really wants to get to 4 mana, like, pretty badly. And we've been stuck at 3 a lot. Yeah, it does seem low with the charm. Like, you've got a lot of draw effects in the deck. The 4 Street Wraiths, the 4 Charms, the Dress Downs, Night Whispers, and your threats all cost like 1 or 2. So theoretically, if you're comparing it to like the old Shadow decks, 3 mana should be like a lot. You should be able to cast all your stuff, and you can, but you can't double spell that much at 3. Like, getting to 4 so you can double up like Counter Drown or Night's Whisper Drown or something like that seems pretty important. Alright, I don't think I'm going to go for super aggressive life total. I don't know what I'm playing against. I don't know like how aggressive I need to be with my life yet. Alright. Could be like mono black. Take my dress around a lot. Like here, we really want to hit the third land, and I'm worried that the low land count is going to be an issue. Still don't know what we're up against. Alright, so this is probably mono black, right? Ooh. Saved. Shadow. Go. So, Fatal Push is problematic. But, like, even right here, look how badly we want to get to the 4th land drop. Second Fatal Push. Fetch land. Alright, so this is like, if we don't hit the 4th land, we probably... Like, if we Night's Whisper and we don't hit the 4th land, we probably just die. And we have to Night's Whisper off the double Watery Grave, because we only have one red source in the deck. So if we draw, like, basic island, we can't kill them. We've seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lands. There's 11 more mana sources and 45 cards. So it's basically a 25% chance, or no, 50% chance to hit it. What if we sit on Counterspell? Let's just sit on Counterspell. Counter whatever they tutor for. Not do it with 2 Counterspell in the hand. Well, the problem is, like, we can't cast 2 Counterspells. It's like having 5 Counterspells in hand doesn't matter if we can't cast them, right? So, I mean, like, are we supposed to not go for it again because we have Counterspell? Like, here, I guess I feel a little bit better about not going for it. Mainly because they just, like, Profane Tutored for a Damnation. Or they went for the Urborg and cast the Damnation. So they've got, like, a pretty slow, janky hand. I kind of feel like if we can counter one big thing, we're okay. Yeah, like, I Counterspell a Grizzlebrand. Get out of here. Shoo. Shoo. Get on out of here. Just play the tempo game. So, like, there's a lot of good and bad to just playing the tempo game. The good is that we can play it if our opponent's hand lines up with it. The bad is that if we're playing into something like maybe they needed the Urborg right there to double spell on their turn, then we're just screwed. Like, we could have just killed them and ended the game there, but instead we tried to play the 1-for-1 game against the deck that's more than likely trying to get way past 1-for-1ing us. So on one side, it's like, yeah, we can play the tempo game if we can actually play the tempo game. But as soon as we start getting behind on the tempo game, then things start falling apart really quickly. In that shadow you had, or in that situation you had shadow hand, counter the next 2 relevant spells. We could counter their next 2 relevant spells if they didn't double spell. Like, that's the big if there. Like, we could not double spell, they could double spell. So we're hinging like that entire plan on them not being able to double spell. Where if we are able to like find the land in battle rage, it doesn't matter if they can double spell because they're not alive anymore. I'm just gonna knight. Pass. I really don't want to pass here. Like, if they get to double spell and they kill our shadow, the game's over. We lose. So every like extra draw step we give them is playing closer to them being able to double spell. I'm just gonna draw 2 here. Oh man. There's a land. Alright, so I'm gonna give them something to kill here. What? Let's play a Murktide. They go for like a damnation or something, it taps them down, they kill this, I can like untap, play shadow. Murktide. Do you have a favorite EU football team? Not really. But I guess if I had to pick one, I'd probably say like probably just like Man U. I think I've probably seen the most matches from Man U out of any of the teams. I think on double counter spell here. Alright, take Karn. plus Shadow. They get counter the Profane Tutor. Or are we countering the Tutor? Yeah, like when I was living in Seattle, we had an English pub like right down the road from my apartment, and they'd open up at like 3 in the morning for the Euro games. So like I'd see some every now and then, but I wouldn't see enough to consider myself like a fan of any particular team. Yeah, I know very little about it, too. Like, I could name off a few teams, but at the end of the day, like, not really a lot to go off of. I think I'm gonna Mystical Dispute this. They can't pay for it. Get some use out of the dispute. Probably gonna get Lion Herboard. I think that doesn't really do much for him. That does something for him. Alright, so... And they didn't draw off Lockthwain. Why didn't they draw off Lockthwain? Like, if I've got a Battle Rage, I'm killing you, so... And I'm just gonna pass with Double Drown and Lock here. Like, here we can play the tempo game. Because they've got 2 cards, access to a potential 3rd. We knew about the Cabal Coffers. I'm pretty sure I can drown, like, anything they could get access to. So, I feel like I've probably got a good chance at winning this one. Yeah. How's the TBR working in this list? We have not cast it yet. So... no idea. This. Now this is pod racing. Play high upside, bottom of the second land. Surely we'll find it again. Burn. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. No Eidolon. No Eidolon. Alright. Stop drawing counter spells. Less counter spells. Fewer of them. Hiya. Wanna do it again? Opponent, this isn't gonna work out the way you want it to work out. we somehow win this game, I will be ecstatic. All we gotta do is dodge a whole bunch of burn spells at our cranium. Come on, play a Boros Charm. Play a Boros Charm. Whoo! Whoo! Fan me off! Fan me off! Oh man. Love a good burn match. Love a good burn match. Really don't want Chalice in this deck. Like, it was good in the deck last night because we had a lot better chance of like locking them out, but we don't want to lock ourselves out. Good old Stubby D and D. Alright, I think this is a trap hand. Like, I see Shadow, ways to lower my life, a counter spell, but I just don't think, like, anything in this hand lets me be conservative. This is way better. And, like, I don't want to have to be aggressive. Opponent mold to 6. Drown is good. So I'm gonna have to get a probably Watery Grave into basic island. I'd rather get a tapped land. So I'm gonna be like a little conservative here. Just Sanctifier, sure. We get to try out the everybody's favorite game of like, would this be better as an actual burn spell? But is Sanctifier on Vec at face value good enough to win games of Magic? Exile for my Murktide. Unfortunately, it's probably going to be good enough just because I'm not doing anything here. So, I'll have to think about that going into post-board. Like, maybe I want the second EE. Alright, Sanctifier on back. Do I want extra dress downs for Sanctifier? Doesn't seem like the worst. Unlicensed Hearse can block a Sanctifier. Yeah. Wally, this is the content I've been looking for, it seems. Well, I hope so. Also, I missed some follows. Google and MS Mayor. Thank y'all so much for the follows. Hope you're having an awesome Thursday so far. Appreciate you coming around and checking out the content. I think I'm just going to go ahead and kill this goblin guy. Inquisition is super clutch. They're planning on just like skewering or skull cracking me into turn. Pretty okay with that. Like, in situations like this, you kind of want to like take things that can kill Shadow, and like skull crack can't kill the Shadow. Bolt, Rift Bolt, Skewer can. So what actually disrupts their plan the most? Like, yeah, Lightning Bolt's the best burn spell that they have. But I don't want to just, like, snap take that. I want to know if that's the right choice. So if they go land, suspend, Rift Bolt, then Lightning Bolt's the best choice. If they take... So there's more to take into account than just 1 mana instant speed, deal 3. Like, this Rift Bolt is setting up Skewer for next turn. So if I let them have the Rift Bolt, then it's setting up next turn, like, be able to turn Spectacle online for Skewer. And I think this is a lot of reason that people, like, lose the burn matchup a lot, is just not taking a moment to make sure the decisions are right. Like, Lightning Bolt might be the best burn spell, but I don't think you should just, like, snap, say, I'm taking Bolt, it's the 1 mana, 3 damage instant speed spell. If they keep the Bolt, they can Bolt Skewer anyway. Yeah, but if they Bolt me Skewer, like, that's fantastic for me. I love that. I am 100% on board with that. But, like, if I take Rift Bolt, then all of a sudden they either have to Lightning Bolt my Shadow next turn, or they have to Skull Crack me, which is fantastic for Shadow. If I let them suspend the Rift Bolt, then I can't play a Shadow next turn, because they can just target the Rift Bolt on my Shadow. Like, Rift Bolt is a deterrent for me playing Shadow next turn. So, yeah, Lightning Bolt is the best spell, but is it the best spell to line up against what I'm doing? Like, if I take Lightning Bolt, they suspend Rift Bolt, I can't play Shadow. Next turn, they can go Rift Bolt my face, Skewer me because they have Spectacle, and still have multiple mana up for another spell. Whereas, if I take the Rift Bolt, they can Skull Crack and Skewer me, but that's 6 as opposed to 9 next turn. Senator, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, everybody. Like, I think this... I'm going to take the Bolt, but I think there's a really, really big argument for taking the Rift Bolt there. If the burn deck double bolts your Shadow, isn't that good also? It would be if I had a backup threat. But if I don't have a backup threat and I don't have a clock, then it's not guaranteed to be the best line for me. Especially if I need to, like, fetch and shock to get Shadow down in the first place. But for everybody coming over from Sanatori's stream, welcome, welcome. if it's your first time here, my name's Michael, or Control Freak on Magic Online. We play a whole bunch of Death Shadow on the channel. I saw you were testing Jund with the white splash earlier. How are like the prismatic endings? That's something that I've wanted to look into. It's like if I'm playing Grixis or Jund, white as a splash color would be a really solid option. Pretty good. That's what I like to hear. Alright, so I'm probably going to end up, like, taking this Swift Spear. You're also running a blue splash? I didn't see the blue splash. I saw the Territorial Kavu, and I saw the Bant Triome, but maybe I was missing something there. Alright, so Mountain, Suspend Rift Bolt. There's a decent chance I'm just going to end up, like, stealing this Swift Spear. Let's see. Like, if they go... Upkeep, Skull Crack, or Rift Bolt me. That was White Splash. Try them just for Kavu, Noblest. Oh, gotcha. Gotcha. That's Rift Bolt gone. Like, this is kind of what I was talking about with my line. If I don't take Rift Bolt, like, they are 100% firing these things off. And kind of the catch is, I don't really want them to fire all these things off. I'm going to steal your Swift Spear. Like, them firing a bunch of things off kind of, like, doesn't play into my hand that well. Because it's a little slow and clunky, and... But, I mean, obviously drawing Counterspell here is nuts. So, like, I can counter something, untap, dress down, Battle Rage. So, like, this lined up because we drew these two cards. Playing blue for Kaido and Royal Scions. We cut Kaido out of this deck, mainly just because we aren't, like, that aggressively explosive, I guess is the right word. Alright, so now we get to attack. We can dress down, Battle Rage, whatever. Opponent's got two cards in hand, so they're probably not killing me. No Path to Exile, please. Yeah. I mean, Jund is desperately looking for card selection. Looting effects are very good there. It kind of reminds me of, like, Jund when it used to play blue for Oko. Like, just this insane value card that obviously you splash for in any deck that could possibly splash for it, but kind of that same idea of like, all right, here's a one color off 3-mana planeswalker that gets you some sort of value as you go. So, I mean, I dig it. I think we tried Kaido and Jund Shadow like once. And I don't remember how it went. I don't think I've ever tried Royal Scions in Jund Shadow. I've tried it in Grixis plenty. Got a bunch of experience with it in Grixis. Alright. What do we got for round 4? Keep track of my my note sheet over here. Like, I need more lands in this list, so lands. It's a very long note list. Jund has Riveteer's Charm now. Riveteer's Charm is, I don't believe, the end-all be-all people want that card to be. Blackcleave Cliffs Ragavan. So I would like to find a spell to cast here. Like a Fatal Push. Ooh, baby, I love you. Easy. Easy. It's just straight up Jund. Little Ren action. Tarmogoyf. Do appreciate a good Tarmogoyf. Alright. I really don't want to cast, like, something into Lily here. Inquisition. I think I'm just gonna dress down, or not dress down, drown and lock the Tarmogoyf. Or do I just let this resolve? No, I'm gonna kill the Tarmogoyf. Destroy. Thicky Goober. Not too thicky. Slight thicky. They probably just take the Shadow here. Yep. Relevant spells. Could have been more relevant. Liliana's going to be an issue if they find one. They do only have 2 cards in hand. So, I mean, if they kept a hand with, like, some lands, Ragavan, Goyf, Inquisition, and they're just, like, not drawing relevant stuff, then I could absolutely see that. And it kind of looks like that's what might be the case. Okay. And I think I'm just gonna pass for another turn. I kind of want to just, like, draw 2 with this Archmage's Charm. Like, I'll counter something if they put something relevant on the stack. Or I'll steal a Liliana or steal a Ragavan. My Ragavan. Yeah. Deal. Deal all day. Absolute deal. Yeah. Do I play out the second one into a Maelstrom Pulse? That'd be a little bit unfortunato. Alright. I think we're in a good spot. Don't actually Maelstrom Pulse me. Alright. I was about to cry if my opponent Maelstrom Pulsed me. There's Liliana. Alright, so we'll go into turn, dress down. Make sure these shadows are big enough to swing for lethal. Good our turn. Inquisition you, see what's going on. Nothing. Fatal push your insect token. And attack for lethal. Alright, just straight up Jun mid-range, huh? Haven't played Modern in a while, but what is Dress Down good against? Urza's Saga is like the big one to me. The elementals are relevant, like Stop Solitude and Fury and like Omnath, ETB, that stuff. But I've gotten way better use out of it against what's it called? Against Urza's Saga. What do I want against Ragavans and Goyfs and stuff? Not really a lot. It's like spreading seeds for battle rages and call it a day. Sure. Weren't sure on Urza Saga. Yeah, like being able to dress down and just kill all, like, both of their tokens plus draw a card is huge. Opponent mulliganed on the play, which is really good for us, really bad for them. We've got a Thoughtseize or like a Fatal Push for their first creature. Assume they just take Murktide here. Don't take Murktide. So that might mean like Liliana or second Thoughtseize. So, like, I could cycle Street Wraith right here on this turn. But I don't think that's really what I want to do. Like, all of their best plays against me are going to be 3-mana plays. Like Liliana, Grist. And so, I'd really like to wait as long as I can to play the Hand Disruption spell to give them the most draw steps to find one of those things. Ren's fine. Don't have another land for it right now, so. I'm not going to shock. Fourth Murktide for the boys. Survey says, little fourth Murktide. I believe this opening hand only had one of these. I could be wrong at this point, but yeah, I'm gonna Night's Whisper. Just like use my mana this turn. If they have like a Liliana or something, I can't counter it anyway. So there's not really a big incentive to not do anything here. Liliana of the Veil. I, for one, am shocked. So I would need to find like a shadow or something to be able to double spell. Let's play a mini Murktide. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Gotta do this right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Surprised you didn't succumb to the Ledger Shredder hype. I mean, the Shredder's good. Like, I don't think it's a card that just like slots into an existing build of anything. We played it once and didn't look great, but I will be the very first to admit that I just threw it straight into an existing ship. Like, no preparation, threw it into a list I already had, called it a day, and it wasn't good. So the next step would be like, try it in another list. So I wouldn't say I have not succumbed to Ledger Shredder. I just like don't have enough games in with the card to make a decision. Goif. Alright. Kind of behind here. Ah, we're fine. We're fine. Like, I mean, what are they gonna do? Like, take up Liliana or take down Liliana, take up Ren, threaten an ultimate. Ooh. All I got's a Thought Seize and Inquisition. And a bunch of Baron Moors. Like, we're just one live draw step, like a shadow away from being right in the thick of this. We were a shadow away from being in the thick of this. Like, I assume they just keep taking up Ren. There's, like, not really a big incentive to ult it here. I've got EEs to bring in game 3. You got it, Chief. Being on the play is way better for this. As much as you do stand in front of a Tarmogoyf, I guess not at the moment. That thing's a 5/6. Never mind. Get out of here. So Night's Whisper into Shadow plus I don't know what the other one would be. Nope. Almost. So I know we want EEs. What do I not want? I think I can cut the 4th Murktide. And a Wraith. Go like that. Oh, baby. This is my kind of hand. We got like potential turn 3 thicky thick Murktide. Cycle first because I want to give myself the most chances of drawing. Why are you coming in multiples? I want one of you, not all of you. Am I just taking trophy here? Yeah. I can fatal push the Ragavan. Hopefully I find second land so I can fatal push plus Thoughtseize. The Murktide's a pretty free ditch to the Croxa. Okay, Payne, what's up? Doing well so far. We're 3-1 in this league, playing for the 4-1. Hoping our Jund opponent disconnects. We're 1-1 this match. The decisive game 3. And we're really, really good at drawing multiple Murktides. The problem is I don't want to draw multiple Murktides. I would like to draw live lands. Yep. Here's my Murktide. Land. Ooh. See if they found a third land for Lily. They did not. So I'm going to take Grist. Mainly because, like, any third land lets them cast Grist. But it has to be a black source to cast Lily. So if I take the Grist here... Ha 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 ha! Victory! Victory! Just how we drew it up. Alright, please. Can I find a land? One land, one time. Oh. One. Don't want to yield in case they want to, like, K command me. I will dismember this Ragavan so fast. Please don't veil me. Alright, land. Come on, land. I need you. That counts. That absolutely counts. Now the question is, do I have to attack down a Wren? No. Get out of here. Don't have second bolt. Alright, so we're attacking down the Wren and playing the Murktide. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's a Murktide. They even drew the bolt. They always draw the bolt. Oh, come on. Come on. They can get back Croxa here, but they have to chump if they do that. And I'll just discard this Night's Whisper. Out of here. And we swing in. They have to block the shadow. So take 8. Survey says... Two cards. We know one of them is a Wrenn and 6. They can escape Croxa again. That doesn't do anything. So Wrenn is fine because Wrenn doesn't do anything relevant here. Yep, bang me. Go crazy. Yes! Yes! Oh, man. That was so ugly. So ugly. Like, both sides having mana problems. We just win because we've got, like, slightly lower to the ground mana problems than our opponent. We needed 2. They needed a 3rd land of a specific color. Alright, we're going to underline lands on here like 4 times. What did I think of that? How's Dress Down and TBR been? I always thought they competed for the same slots. So we never cast TBR that entire league, so not much to go off of there. But Dress Down was really good. We saw like some Urza Saga decks. Got to take that out. We grew Shadows. Actually, I take that back. We do have a TBR kill. We killed Burn with TBR. Because our opponent was at like 18 life. And we dressed down to grow our 4/4 Shadow to 13/13 and TBR'd it for lethal. So we do have a dress down kill there. And ironically, they were not competing because we had to have both of them to get that win. But are they competing? Kind of, but like dress down acts more as a stop token, stop ETB, stop like Urza Saga shenanigans, things like that, while growing Shadow. Battle Rage acts as like the I'm gonna get through blockers, kill you from like over 13 life. So they do serve like pretty different roles. Have I ever been kissed by a guy? Chinese. I cannot say that I have. And I don't know if you were trolling or not, so sorry. Send an appeal if you're not. They might have actually been just a nice person. But that's really weird and creepy to start a conversation with in a Twitch chat. So we're not going to do that. Back to the deck list. The biggest issue we ran into is just like not finding 3rd, 4th mana on time. And like this 4 Archmage's Charm wanting to 4 mana spell, 4 mana worth of spells deck. So I feel like we want an extra land in here, like 17th land plus the I don't think we need Seagate Restoration anymore either. I get that it can just be like a shock land for Shadow or Bolt land. But like not actually being able to cast the thing is kind of weird. So I feel like this could just be like, I don't know, another Flooded Strand or something. And if that's the case, it would need an 18th land as well. So we would have to go to like that is land and cut something in here for another land. But that was like a big issue, is we just kept not being able to double spell. And with like Murktide and 4 counter spells, 4 Drown Lock, and you really want to get to 4 mana. Like pretty badly. Sideboard, we never found a Hearse matchup, so I don't know if that's good. We didn't see like any real grave decks. The Dress Downs out of the board were good. The Stub out of the board was good. The Mystical Disputes, I guess. Like, we didn't really do much with the sideboard. Like, all of our wins came from just main deck cards. So, I feel like the sideboard could be a little bit more refined. But the main deck was pretty sweet. So, definitely recommend if you're in the market for a Dimir Shadow deck, check out something like this. The Archmage's Charms might be a little much for my taste, but we stole some stuff.